The biggest flex you can have in your 30s is to stay so in your lane that you are not even looking at what other people are doing with their lives. And that is something that happened to me this week, because I am back at my home country, and I come back here every year. I've been living abroad for the last almost 9 years now. And I remember so clearly how the first couple of years that I was coming back here, I used to get quite triggered by what my friends from here were doing, because at some point I felt like they were taking all these steps, they were advancing on their careers, they were getting promoted, they were getting relationships and moving in together, some of them having kids. And I remember that used to make me feel quite behind in life, even though I knew deep down that wasn't the life that I wanted. But as I wasn't really clear about what it was that I actually wanted for my life, those things used to really get to me. And I remember that I used to feel like I had to almost apologize for having this, let's say, more like messy, not so organized type of life. And when I decided to go all in with this more nomad, if you want to call it, life a couple of years ago, and when I decided to leave my normal 9-to-5 remote job, the safe choice, and really embracing that new chapter of my life, I realized that I was measuring myself against someone else's version of success. And this happens a lot, especially for us women, and especially in our 30s, because this decade is when everyone else is doing something completely different. So you will have friends telling you about how they are buying houses, how they are having kids, how they are moving together. And then you probably have some friends who are just traveling the world, getting a divorce, and losing their parents, and just going through a complete identity crisis, buying like whatever, getting into like alcohol or like hard things because they want to escape reality. You have people doing all sorts of different things. Some others just traveling the world and trying to figure it out what to do after. So this decade, it's so unique in that way. And here is where you actually see, and I'm pretty sure this is the decade where you actually get to know yourself way more than in your 20s. And this comes with age, of course, and this comes also with having different freedom that you had in your 20s. But what I wanted to talk about today is something that happened to me this week, because on Sunday, it was one of my best friend's birthdays. And this is a friend that I had since I was, I think, 11 or 12 years old. So yes, I know her for more than 20 years. And it's really funny how, if you look at both of our lives, they are ridiculously different. They cannot be farther from each other. Like, she recently got a kid, and she's living with her boyfriend for a good couple of years now, and she has this job and everything. and she's really happy with her life. And that's what I love. That's what I love about your 30s also, that I love when people are unapologetically happy about their choices, whatever they are, because again, at the end of the day, it's you and your little life. But whatever you choose, make sure that it's something that you are proud of. And here it's when the stay in your lane comes in, because I feel when you are really clear about who you are and what you want, even if it's not in like specific details, because of course we never know how things are going to turn out. But when you have a clear north, when you have a clear direction, and at the very least, when you know what you don't want for your life, when you are really clear about the things that you don't want for your life. For example, for me, something that I've known for a long time now is that I don't want kids. I know that, and that of course shapes all the choices related to love differently from maybe someone who actually wants to have kids, because you have another things to take into consideration. But things like that you already know that you don't want also help you shape what you do want. So coming back to this example, with this friend, we have completely opposite lives, even if you want. But here's the funny part, we're still so close, and she's still one of the first people that I call if something happens. And she's always there supporting me with all these crazy dreams and this crazy life that I have comparing to any normal standard. And she's always there supporting me, even if she doesn't really know what I'm trying to do or she doesn't understand. And for me, it's the same. Sometimes I don't understand because I'm not in her shoes, but I can be supported and loving because I love her. So it's really funny, and this is what I wanted to get into. I was on Sunday at her birthday, and there were a lot of people that I knew from back then when I was in high school, and I was talking to them, and all of them were talking about their lives, their kids, like going back to school, blah blah blah, all these things. And I remember that, as I told you before, this used to trigger me in some ways of like, maybe I am doing something wrong, maybe I should just settle down, whatever that means. And I was just looking at this scene the other day and thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm so happy with my life. I wouldn't change my life even for 5 minutes with any of these people. But not out of, oh my God, they have such a bad life. No, they have an amazing life for themselves. And they weren't even complaining. They were just talking about their lives. And the good things, actually, about their lives. They were talking about like the happy things. And even with the happy things, I'm like, I love that for you, but I know deep inside so much what I want for my life that I don't get triggered anymore. I know that I am building and working on a life that I am so passionate about, I'm so in love with, that I really don't care about what other people are doing. In the best way. I love them, I wish them the best, and I really hope they're all really happy with their lives. That's what I want the most for everyone. And it's so powerful to have a realization like this, because when you are so in your lane that you don't really care about what other people are doing, you free up so much mental space. You have so much more mental capacity and emotional capacity to deal with yourself, to deal with your problems or with your challenges, or to grow whatever you're trying to grow, to heal whatever you're trying to heal, to go for the things that you actually want for your life, instead of wasting that energy comparing yourself to others. And even if you want, let's say I wanted the same life that they have, what's the point in blaming myself and comparing myself to where they are now. Because I really hope you benefit from this perspective. You don't really know what is happening behind doors in anyone's lives. Maybe you know what happens behind doors in like the lives of 2 or 3 of your friends. And I'm not really sure you know it all, but you might know a big part of it. But the rest of the people that you see around and that you see in social media and that you see anywhere, you don't know even 10-20% of what's happening behind doors. So you really don't know the things that they had to go through to get where they are. You don't know the challenges. You don't know the nights that they maybe cry themselves to sleep to get where they are. You only see the end result. And it's not fair to compare the end result of someone with your life right now, with your unfolding. Also because each one of us has different paths, has different priorities, has different seasons of life. And while some of my friends are getting divorced now, I haven't even lived with someone yet, for example. Like, the timelines are so different from one person to the next than wasting your energy and your time comparing yourself to others only takes your energy away, takes your focus away, takes all the things that you can actually do for yourself, your time, your energy, all of that, of the magic that you can do for yourself. You are giving them away. You are wasting them away, comparing yourself to others. So for real, the biggest flex in your 30s and in life in general, the biggest flex is to be so on your lane, stay so in your lane that you don't really look at what other people are doing because you know where you are going. And you are just unapologetically going there. And that's my biggest wish for you. If you're new around here, my name is Candela. I'm a self-love, I'm a mindset coach, and I'm here to inspire you, to cheer you on, and to help you build a life that you love so deeply that anywhere else, like anything else, love, success, whatever you want, adds to that already amazing life. Not like your life depends on it. If that's the season that you are in, you can subscribe here below and check out my Instagram, my Substack, and everything that I have to offer. It's there. See you around.